Alright, so we're going to work with the big idea to practice comparing three models. And I've got the one-time cost and repeating costs already in the table here at the top from our handout. And I just wanted to go through making the table again, since this table is much like your table for your Big Idea 2 project. So the first thing I want to do is put in a pattern here. So I might go up by every, say, 3 months. We did a different number in class, but going up by 3 months would be the pattern I choose. So I've selected that. Again, that's by clicking through the center and dragging down to select my pattern. And then I'm going to grab the corner and drag that down a ways. 93 months. Seems like plenty of time there. And let's see, cost of car A. I need an equal sign for the cost of car A. And then I need to put in the one-time cost. And I need to keep that constant, so I'm going to put in my dollar signs here. And then I'm going to add my repeating costs. Again, I need to keep that constant. That is not going to change. And I need to multiply my repeating costs by the number of months. That is going to change, so I'm going to leave that without the dollar signs. And do the same thing for B. So equals my one-time costs, put in those dollar signs, plus my repeating costs, put in those dollar signs, and multiply that by the number of months. And let's just go ahead and do, oops, that's not what I wanted. Press enter first. Then go ahead and do C as well. So one-time costs, dollar signs, plus repeating costs, dollar signs, times my number of months, and press enter. Now in class we didn't do it this way, but you can actually choose all three formulas and drag them down together. So I can take all three of those, drag them down to the bottom of my table, and the table will fill in with those. And you can double check somewhere in here. Click on that one. It did in fact still take the one-time cost for car B plus the repeating cost for car B and multiply that by the number of months for this row. So I've actually selected all three of those formulas at once and copied them all at once. The last thing we do is make a graph. So I'm going to select everything. Ooh, there we go. There's my graph. And I'm going to insert a chart. I want a scatter plot. And I'm going to go to customization to make this appropriate. So chart title, comparing three vehicle costs or something like that. Seems reasonable to me. I'm not going to make this fancy or anything. I'm just going to put in the title. So the horizontal axis is months. And the vertical axis is cost in dollars. Something like that. And then I want to make sure I put in a trend line for each of these. So here's a trend line. That was just for cost A. You can see that line got put in there. Up here in the series area, I can open this drop-down menu, change to cost of B, and put in a linear trend line. And then lastly, cost of C, put in a linear trend line. And of course, for each of those, you can go down and change the label to the equation, which I find useful. Too far. Because then you can double check that your equation matches with the equation on the previous page. Go ahead and insert that. Scroll back up here, and there is our graph. Now, of course, you can change fonts, change colors, change the number of major lines and minor lines in the grid here. Lots of things you can change. But we can see that for car C being the most expensive to begin with, it becomes less expensive than car A at, about, I don't know, 15 months. We can go over and look at the table over here actually and see that between 12 and 15 months it does go from car A being cheaper than car C to car A being more expensive. I'm sorry. Oh no, it's still cheaper. Where does it happen? Okay, between 15 and 18, there it is. Between 15 and 18 months here, if we compare A to C here, we'll see that we've got C being cheaper at 18 months versus being more expensive at 15 months. And we can do similar comparisons between, say, cars B and C as well. And that's about it. If you have any questions, send me an email.